Welcome to the 96th edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tigerhite.
And I am Peanut Gallery.
So we're going to do something a little bit different with today's show. It'll be the first live interaction that we're going to have. But first, let's talk about this week and let's get on my soapbox. So, Raw on the 13th of March, obviously last week, got 1.705 million viewers, and that's down from 1.827. Not too bad, but still a down. And it was a 0.53 demo instead of a 0.52, so the demo is up, but the rating is down, and obviously it was number 1 in cable. Edge's segment with Finn Balor was good. I'm excited for the Hell in a Cell, but I'm really excited for the tease of the Demon, because I think that'd be a great way to introduce him back into the fold. Judgment Day versus Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano was a fun little match. Nothing too bad about it. Keeping Judgment Day strong is good because obviously they have a couple of really big matches over the next, especially at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar and Omos was kind of a mess. It felt rushed, and the botch where Omos could not get Lesnar over the top rope at first was a bit rough. But I think the numbers don't lie based on what it is. People are curious about the match, and I am as well. Cody Rhodes and LA Knight was a fun match, but I'm worried about LA Knight not having anything for WrestleMania, especially right now because he's lost 2 matches, and I'm getting a little concerned about his legitimacy going forward, and if they really even care about him. It's a sad situation there. Austin Theory and Angelo Dawkins had, once again, a fun match in the mini feud with the Profits with Austin Theory is good, keeping him busy before Mania, and you gotta do something with the United States Champion. Rey Mysterio segment was the same as SmackDown's, nothing too much to say there. Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins was an absolute whatever sandwich. Bianca Belair and Chelsea Green was fine. It basically set up the tag match for next week, but at the same time, I'm also liking the tag team with Chelsea Green and Carmella.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, and obviously they want to keep these women busy, so WrestleMania comes around. I just don't know what else you can do with those two. Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens in a street fight, it was fine, but just a little too similar than what we've seen over the course of the last couple of weeks. It just kind of felt like a skirty Raw.
Yeah,
with a couple of
they're running out of ideas.
Yep, even though we have like 2 more goddamn weeks. So, NXT. I don't know why my thing keeps going up so high. So NXT is a 590,000 down from 624, but that was Roadblock, so there was a little more
interest
to it. Right, exactly. And it was a 0.15 demo instead of a 0.17, and it was 19th in the top 150. Johnny Gargano segment was good. I liked the promo, and Grayson's showing up at his house was subtle but good. I liked it overall. Gallus and Pretty Deadly was fine, but just a random match on the show. These are for the tag titles. Very, very strange. How did Pretty Deadly get this opportunity? Why not at Roadblock, or Stand and Deliver? Like, it just doesn't make any sense putting it on this show at all. Sol Ruca and Zoe Stark was fine. A good stipulation. It felt important because I don't think Roxanne Perez is the champion anymore.
No, she's not. It's now vacated.
That's what I thought. I don't know if that's kayfabe or if she's actually hurt, but it's just kind of worrying. But at the very least, they're doing something with the women, and a multi-women ladder match is totally fine with me. The women's contender 3-way for the tag team champions was fun. It felt important for the titles, and it's going to be at a premium live event. Nothing wrong there. Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough is going to be ending next week. I'm a fan of the match, but why is it going to be next week?
Right. Why didn't not wait for Roadblock or Stand and Deliver?
I know, they're kind of right next to each other. And since we're at the Roadblock Fallout, that's going to be happening. It's very strange. The North American Champions Chaos was good because they needed something to put the fans back into it. It helps with some energy. And now we're going to have a multi-man fatal 5-way for the title at Stand and Deliver. How we're going to have these people come in, I don't know. I'm assuming a match of some kind. Kiana James and Gigi Dolan was fine, but between the 2 qualifying matches, I like the Sol Ruca and the Zoe Stark match more, but that's just due to experience, and also Sol Ruca is very good. I just don't know why Gigi Dolan is not clicking with me. You would think that she would be the breakout star, but it's like, And Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes had a good back and forth. I am surprised. I don't know what clicked with Braun Breaker, but he actually had a good promo.
Wow, he's improving.
Yeah, hopefully we continue on that because he definitely needs some work. Now, let's talk about Dynamite. 852,000 viewers, down from 858. So very, very slightly, but still down. And it was a .27 demo instead of a .29. That's not the greatest, but once again, lower. It was number 11, but obviously March Madness was happening that same night. So basically basketball took over everything.
Yeah.
MJF's Rebar Mitzvah was better than I thought. I really like that they set up with the 4 pillars of AEW, the 4 pillars of AEW.
Yeah.
It took them long enough to finally actually do something with that whole gimmick. Blackpool Combat Club is officially heel, and I am totally digging that. Stu Grayson is re-signed with AEW. I just don't think anybody cares. He's in a dead. Exactly, he's in a dead group with Dark Order. Blah 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 blah. Oh, Taya Valkyrie, what have you done? Why AEW?
Right.
Of all companies,
right?
You could have gone literally anywhere.
I mean, we knew what's going to happen.
She's going to be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, she is.
And she already has, so it doesn't even matter.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, Taya's going to be the one to beat Jade. And I had this bitch fit earlier, and I'm going to do it again because it's important. You had the opportunity to build a star with somebody beating Jade Cargill.
Right.
But for some reason, you didn't.
You're going with someone who's already a star, who does not need no man.
Right. She doesn't need the victory.
Right.
She does not need it. I mean, I think it's going to be a good thing for Jade Cargill, but at the same time, you had Kira Hogan and Red Velvet ready, especially Kira.
Yeah.
Where you could have built a star, established them immediately as a top draw.
Right.
Maybe not a top draw, but at least somebody to be pushed over.
Right.
You know? But no, they didn't do that. Just very strange. The North American champion, or not the North American champion, the All-Atlantic champion to the International champion. Does it make it any more of a paperweight champion? No. It does not give it any sort of actual value, but the match between Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett arguably was actually good. I liked it. But overall, once again, another title match for that. Doesn't really matter. Once again, the women's division on the main event scene is a total disaster.
Was that the main event segment?
No, it was not. But you have... And then you add more people in it with Riho, with Willow Nightingale, and then there was somebody else. I can't even remember. Going against the Outcasts. It's like...
No one cares.
Who? Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Toni Storm. How are they outcasts? One of them was a champion, too. So... How are they outcasts?
They're trying to just copy what WCW did.
Yeah, and it's not going to work.
Right.
Because all of them just don't want to be there. So, whatever. Anyway, and then the House of Black, the Elite, and Jericho Appreciation Society was good. I cannot believe I said that about it. Jericho Appreciation Society anything.
Yeah, that was interesting in the same sentence, too.
I know. But it looks like the Elite and Hangman are going to be facing the Blackpool Combat Club. God, whatever. Anyway, let's go to Impact. Obviously, I could not find any numbers for Impact because it's Impact. But Jonathan Gresham and Speedball McBailey might be an interesting tag team overall. Both of them are very good, very technically sound, and hopefully we'll continue that. And Gresham needed this win so bad because he has lost a couple of very high-profile matches. I was worried about his credibility, but maybe we have a direction here with him and Bailey being in a tag team.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, because they would be here or the world champion team. And obviously right now it's Macklin. It's Macklin's time, so whatever. But speaking of Steve Macklin, we have Steve Macklin beating Heath. His legitimacy continues to grow as he's beating people.
Yep.
And they're doing that right. Also, speaking of Impact, did you see that Scott D'Amore is officially the president of Impact Wrestling?
Yes, I did.
Excellent. Johnny Swinger and Jay Vidal was a nothing. The whole feud between Eddie Edwards and PCO is spinning in the mud. It
needs to end.
And it's not, because now Kenny King is being added into the rivalry.
Oh, great.
It's not going to help.
Right.
Also, is Kenny King Eddie Edwards' bitch now? Like, seriously.
Right. Who knows?
Get off of Honor No More. It's dead and buried. I'm happy that Taya took the fall for Kylan King, because Kylan King is now with Impact.
Yep.
So...
She's also still signed with NWA as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now she is she's a champion there. with Impact. She's
Yep.
her and the Coven.
Yep, and Taya took the fall because obviously I think this was her last match in the company.
I think so. But, yeah, there you go. A week after a team debuts named Win the Champions, kind of showing you how absolute bare bones this division is as a whole. Whatever. Obviously, we'll still have Jessica and Rosemary still tag team, but Ty Valkyrie was definitely a nucleus within the Death Dolls, so I'm not sure if they're going to call themselves the Death Dolls anymore.
Who knows?
I mean, they're still part of Decay, but still. And then, obviously, Josh Alexander, Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann taking on Bullet Club was a fun main event. Not too much to say here because it writes itself. It's fine, you know. Totally acceptable. Nothing too bad. SmackDown, I did not find ratings or demo for this one.
Because we're filming this on a Saturday, so.
Right.
And
well, it doesn't come out until Monday anyway.
Well, there we go.
Cody Rhodes segment with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens being the disappointed father trying to resolve the brothers feuding was good. I did like it quite a bit, actually. Judgment Day and Legado del Fantasma was a fun match. It continues the story, and then the promo after with the Mysterios once again was good. The Rey Mysterio really sold that crying very well, and Dominic really was like great at it because it's just a good story overall. I'm glad they're still doing it. So WWE announced during the show that they are going to be doing a fatal four-way tag team match with men and women, and they're calling it the WrestleMania Showcase for WrestleMania. I do not like this.
You don't. I think it's an interesting concept, but it has to be fatal four-way. It can't be like two, one person. Every team has to have a representative out there in order to make it work. No, they're not.
I don't know why they don't do that.
I don't know why either.
But once again, it's like, what do they get exactly? I mean, I guess it's better than the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's true, it is. And the Women's Battle Royal, because at the very least you have an opportunity for them to do something with it.
Right, there's a lot less people to worry about.
Right. And also, it's like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, nobody really got anything out of it.
Right.
Same thing with the Women's Battle Royal. It just... nothing happened there.
Right.
I'm hoping, at least with the showcase, you have an opportunity to at least go for the tag titles at the next pay-per-view.
Right, or something like that.
It would at least make it feasible for it to do something.
Right.
They had one of the women's matches now, so it's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yep.
Establish a team. We need it right now. But once again, you're on SmackDown. When was the last time the women's tag team champions, who are Becky Lynch and Lita, when was the last time they were on television?
Right.
On SmackDown. None. Zero. And the same thing goes with Damage Control. They were barely on SmackDown, so why bother with SmackDown? So, that's just kind of my rant there. I'm kind of on it with that, but if that replaces the Battle Royals, I guess I can accept. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley's brawl was good. It needed to happen. We needed some energy into it, and they did it. I just don't know what they're doing with LA Knight for the most part. I had an issue with it, but I had previously stated that I hope they're not giving up on LA.
Right.
He has a very limited shelf life because he's turning 40 this year.
Right.
And you have a start here. Now, they did a little bit of a tease with another Bray Wyatt logo, but once again, is he going to be ready for Mania?
Right.
And why are we doing LA Knight and Bray Wyatt again?
Right.
Are they worried that they're not going to get like a big marquee? Because you have them with LA. LA is what Seth Rollins is on SmackDown.
Right.
Just continue to do it that way because AJ is hurt. He's not going to be at Mania unless he's returning at Mania.
Who knows?
That would be cool. We are getting a three-way match for the Intercontinental Champion. We knew it was going to happen. It was a good match, a good ending.
Yep.
People need to understand that this is theater.
Right.
And it's not necessarily the result. It's the journey to get to the result.
Right.
That's what you have to enjoy. Now, the ending is obviously something, but you can watch Romeo and Juliet 1,000 times. But actors, certain stages, that stuff is what's important. Mm-hmm. You know the ending. But at the same time, you still enjoy it. Why? Because it's not about the ending. It's about the journey. Mm-hmm. You have three awesome wrestlers here. Need to do something for Mania. Continuing to build the legitimacy of the Intercontinental Champion again and again and again. there you go. It's easy,
right
down to the center, but I enjoy the journey for it, and that's what's important. I thought the whole Jey Uso and Sami Zayn thing was a match, but I guess not, but whatever. But it was great, though. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn hugged. People lost their minds. And I'm assuming that will be our tag team title match for Mania. They have not made it official yet.
They're probably going to at some point.
Sometime next week.
Right. All right.
And finally, one more. Unfortunately, we have to talk about Rampage.
I know. I wish this show didn't exist.
No. Anyway, Powerhouse Hobbs and Rey Fenix. Even though this was kind of a random match, it was still fun. I thought both of them actually had good chemistry, and maybe a little bit of a singles push for Rey Fenix going against Powerhouse would not be a bad idea, just in general, But, I hope that they don't screw this up with Powerhouse. You have a star with Powerhouse, and this is a step in the right direction. Just don't overdo it. And even though people don't like QT, not a big fan of him either, I like him as a manager for Powerhouse. It actually might give a good mouthpiece for Powerhouse here.
Right.
So let's play it out. Let's see what happens. Thank God Taya had a good match, a fun match for her debut. But once again, she's already just starting to zone out of existence. Nobody within this division feels special. Not even Jade Cargill. So, I'm just worried. I'm worried. I'm worried that she screwed up her career by doing this. Anyway, the Bollywood Boys and the Jericho Appreciation Society, and this was 2.0, actually had a fun match.
Wow.
To be honest, I know. It was better than I thought, because I haven't seen 2.0 in a tag team match in a long time. And no, I don't watch Dark. I don't watch Dark Elevation. I'm not going to watch their little house show, because guess what? They're not getting paid anymore by running house shows.
Right.
Wait, why then? Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And then Brody King and Daniel Garcia was just sad. They might have killed the legitimacy of a very good big man in Brody King here. Because Daniel Garcia put on a garbage Dragon Sleeper. And Jericho obviously had to interfere, because nobody can get over but Chris Jericho.
No.
Whatever. Anyway, that is my soapbox for this week. Overall, the shows were more positive than negative.
Yeah.
I was surprised with more. There was more engagement. Also, I got this question earlier about adding more shows to my lineup. If I can do it full time, I would. But I can't yet. So become a patron. So, or share with your friends, all that fun stuff. Anyway, so when we come back, we're going to be doing something very interesting, but we'll go into it when we get to it.
There we go.